Good evening and welcome to Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we are joining a mixed group as these four investigate a number of fires that occurred the night of the Beltane celebrations throughout the city. Tonight we are investigating a pair of fires specifically that occurred in Amsterdam Forest. One of those was a crime scene where a body had been found previously flayed and impaled. That entire scene was burned, leaving a lot of questions as to the possibility of those trying to destroy the scene or prevent any further evidence from being identified. The other location was one of the oldest trees in Amsterdam Forest that also burned pretty much down to a stump, but oddly the trees around it were not affected. As we join everyone this evening, I assume you guys are meeting up at the edge of Amsterdam Forest before heading in. Amsterdam Forest is a reasonably sized forest within the city, so it's confined by streets on all sides and does have trails and pathways throughout it.
Air kind of cautiously approaches the outer edge of the forest, making sure she doesn't cross the bond that she knows is there. And kind of just looks over her shoulder to make sure no one's behind her, and also keeps a watchful eye and an ear out as she stands there looking into the forest.
Standing right behind her, you'll probably smell her and hear her footsteps before you actually see her. The cracking of twigs and branches, and the very pungent smell of insect repellent, and the faintest smell of chamomile. You see a woman walking, matter of factly, with a satchel on her waist and a few canteens of water.
She kind of takes a sniff and obviously catches the bug spray and kind of glances over her shoulder
Mm-hmm.
and half smirks.
She'll smile. Hello.
I thought that might be you. I recognized your bug spray.
I don't like to itch. It seems more effective than walking around with a bottle of off.
That's also fair, but something to keep in mind.
Hmm?
I can smell it. Others can smell it too.
Oh, you have to have a little faith, my dear. They're not trapped in there. We're not trapped in there with them. They're trapped in there with us. We'll be fine. Don't you
I want to
worry.
wear it. That's totally up to you. I'm just letting you know what's a possibility here.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Chuckles. Um, I assume we're likely here for the same reason.
Yes,
Strange
it's very
happenings.
peculiar. These fires seem fires. Yeah, doesn't seem uh seems out of season for such a thing. Figured I'd poke
That it
around.
does. I grew up here and it's very unusual.
Hmm. Perhaps we
Lucas walks
can
up.
drum something up. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Lucas walks over. He's got a zipped up hoodie with the hood pulled up and a guitar gig bag over his shoulder. Walks over and stands next to Air, gives her the nod. Looks at what's her name, Titania. Kind of gives her the nod, like, how's it going?
He smiles and gives you a wink. Who's your friend?
This is Lucas.
Yo.
Hi. She'll put out her hand for a shake.
He reaches out and shakes it.
Your muscle turning to air.
I didn't catch that, sorry.
Your muscle turning to air.
Air, like she kind of snickers. She's obviously trying to keep it down, but she's laughing pretty hard.
She laughs at that, noticing that the joke its effect.
Completely lost.
Completely lost on why it was actually this funny, but it was a joke, and she's just happy it was taken that way.
She looks at Titania and says, "If anyone can put him in his place, it's me." And she kind of smirks at Lucas.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
My character is attempting to be stealthy.
Okay.
I have to say that. There's a reason. So, 5, 6. We'll roll these 9 dice and see what happens. Now, how do you roll in stupid rolls again?
Hashtag. Number of dice. D10.
Okay.
F. Difficulty.
What is the difficulty of a stealth roll in the WOADs?
That's a standard diff.
Well, I've been keeping an eye and an ear out, so at this point,
Sure, -5 to whatever. Doesn't matter.
rolling a perk alert.
Sure, lose 5 dice.
Yeah. I think conveniently you do lose 5 dice trying to notice him.
Oh, well, I get one die. It doesn't matter. I can't beat it.
You guys joke like you're close. Dating? He says.
Yeah,
Turning
we
to
know
air.
each other pretty well. Right, buddy? She, like, elbows Lucas.
Ahem.
He snorts.
Oh wow, you can blush. That's refreshing.
Like out of the darkness, like Aaron steps. Hello.
Lucas wheels
Batman.
around and like,
Right?
Ah,
At
yes.
all times, and pay attention to your surroundings. Hello, I am Aaron.
I know who you are.
That name sounds familiar to me as well. She raises an eyebrow.
I see my
At
reputation
him.
precedes me. Good. I assume you're all strange in some way. None of my business, really. Let's go investigate.
Don't mind my compatriot. He's a bit precarious.
I don't think that word means what you think it does. I can
She
prove
sticks
I
out her tongue.
mean, she seems pretty normal. I'm normal. He's normal. I
I'm
guess.
super
but,
normal.
No, I don't think you are. I don't know where they do that at, but someplace. This is not there. Nope. So, strange fires. Odd. Let's investigate. Do you have any clues before we start?
Yeah. My only, I guess I shouldn't say it's a clue, more like, advice. We likely aren't the only ones here.
Fine. Will we be killing them or speaking to them?
Well, preferably killing them if necessary, but,
Fine. If we're on the mission of murder, then
let's
I
hope
can
it doesn't come to that.
Oh, well, so we're not going to murder first. You're going to talk to them first, yes?
I've heard that you're quite adept at murder. She raises an eyebrow at him and kind of
I'm not adept at it.
straightens herself
I'm not
out.
adept. I'm not adept at it. It just doesn't bother me very much. So that's why I'm asking what our mission parameters are here. If we run into opposition, are we speaking to them or are we going to stab them?
Prefer stab first, ask questions later.
Well, I happen to
Always
have brought a
with the
knife.
tactic.
He says it just like that, too. I happen to have brought a knife. How convenient.
Titania's
glad you're
looking
not
at
the
her
only one
now,
that's come
like sort of
prepared.
half paying attention.
Um,
She's looking at her nails, looking at the group, half annoyed.
He goes,
oh, you're in
well,
luck.
my
I
furrow
know
is not
this
going to help
forest.
itself. Let's go. He begins tromping into the woods. Hello, bad guys? Bad guys?
Air kind of face palms, and she's like, "I know this forest,"
This is going to end
and she's
badly.
going to kind of start moving and take point.
Seems to be some sort of tactical disposition. Do you all have some sort
And
of
she
way
kind
to
of says over
communicate
the
with each other?
backling to Lucas,
Silently?
"Watch the rear."
Uh-huh.
So
She's
you don't
walking.
have a way to do that? Would you like some radios to maintain contact? Yes, I can do that. No? Okay, then. Fine.
She,
If you have a
she
radio,
says,
she
she
speaks.
says to Lucas over the backlink, if you really want to mess with this dude, you know what you can do, right?
No, what?
Mind link. That's all she says. Mind link. And she proceeds into moving forward.
Did you want me to look for something?
She's trying to be stealthy.
Should I be looking? He's really loud. He goes, should I be looking for something specific?
She looks over her shoulder. We're looking for space for our burnt out. I don't know how much more fake you can get to start with.
Fine.
Did I mention that the opposing forces that are here get big and hairy?
That shouldn't be a problem.
Lucas
Good.
chuckles from the back.
I mean,
So yeah.
if they need to do that to be competent, I suppose.
All right, hopefully you're prepared for lots of them, she says under her breath. And she's going to kind of keep moving quietly and listening for anything that's off and watching for where they're walking.
Probably first thing you would notice that's off is how quiet it is, but I would like.
It was quiet last time.
No, it's more so than last time.
Okay.
But perception, primal urge, or awareness.
With sharp eye to be a bonus you.
Okay.
No.
Neural perception, primal urge. Three successes.
This is also John. Can I activate a spirit sight?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
John, I will tell my phone to beep if some sort of spirit shows up.
Okay.
Great.
You think I'm joking, right?
No, you're being very serious.
No, we know.
Aaron got 4 successes. I can talk to it now. It makes me so happy. Yay. By the way, you all will notice one odd thing. He hasn't asked any of you who you are or what you're doing here.
Doesn't matter.
And then the R2.
Right?
Those are minor details.
I mean, Air is totally okay with that because she's heard things about him and he gave his name, so right?
Continuing the killing. Sure.
John, can you roll the 5 dice for my brain to simultaneously track all of their electronic devices so I can keep them close to me? They'll be minuses, I assume, because we're in the low ads. Because I use data. I'm stupid.
That's 2 to success and 2 to duration, John.
Alrighty. You need 5 dice, right, Marcus, for that?
Yep.
And
Anthony, what do you do?
basically, you're tracking anything they're carrying, electronics-wise, correct?
Yeah. I mean, Ant, what'd you do?
Oh, spirit sight. I think I did that right.
If you got 2, it's all successes. It's all duration for you, buddy. You did it.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's really not an intensity for something like that, so.
Okay.
You don't last the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah.
The spirits.
No, it's just that here in Dublin, you guys do it differently. So, all right. Shut up, Marcus. Anyway.
I'm not commenting. Nope.
Every
Alright.
mage game I've played, there's been like 4 reissues of the rules. Anyway, I'm sorry. I can carry
I
on.
got page numbers. I got page numbers.
Alright. Did we get the... I saw 3 for Perk Primal for air. I'm assuming, Lucas, that was your 2.
Yeah.
Did we get the perception awareness? Is that...
Yes, that was me for 4.
Facing me.
Alright. It's very... idle. You don't feel any energy. From a spiritual standpoint or a dimensional standpoint, it's like a dead zone almost.
Anything show up? Or it's just like the emptiness here?
Yeah, it's empty. You're not picking up on much of anything, and you guys were headed to the tree first or to the crime scene?
Air was going for the tree.
Lucas is sticking with there.
All right. Well, as you guys continue it, it almost is to a point of uncomfortably silent. And you reach the clearing where the tree is.
Okay.
You would know that this was previously the center of the sept.
Whoa. Previously?
Well, it's clearly not now because it's empty.
Air kind of looks over at Lucas and says over the pack link, "This is really not right. This used to be the center of the sept." Air doesn't bother to hide the look of concern on her face for Aaron or Titania there.
You
Who
okay
could
though?
have done this?
You look like you caught a fright. Or at least something that's done you a great
No.
concern.
Well, what do you feel here? Beyond the extreme, uncomfortable silence that surrounds us.
This place is rather empty, and that is concerning.
Empty of what?
There's things
It
that should be
is.
here.
Like what?
Usually in populated areas such as these, you would have word ephemera. Things that usually habitate the area.
There are no
Oh, the entities. Yes.
animals.
Nor are there. So there are no
Nothing.
bugs. There are no small scampering woodland creatures. This is odd. Yes.
Quite odd.
Okay then.
Being as this used to be the center of the entire set, John, does it feel like it's lost power or anything? Like,
Yeah.
John, I got a 3 on sense worm, assuming diff 6.
You do not sense worm.
Okay.
okay.
Well then.
Bear is going to also look at the ground, see if there's any sign of anyone being here, like very recently.
John, I'm gonna do the same thing, except like
Beyond
with
obviously
technology
this group.
and like weirdness.
Okay.
He pulls out he breaks off a piece of the briefcase, and he turns it around and he starts messing with the not some. It looks like he pulls out like a cell phone, like a smartphone of weirdness, and he starts messing with it. And there's lots of beeping. And I'm gonna roll my. I have enough hypertech to make this work, and I'm gonna make a perception plus. Essentially, it's gonna be matter 1 and prime matter 1 and forces 1, and see if there's any sort of evidence.
All right.
Essentially, I'm going to lower a difficulty on an investigation roll using forces and matter.
You want me to roll perception alertness, perception survival, for
wits and
generally
survival,
looking for
if you-
prints and signs.
Yeah,
Wits,
perception,
survival?
survival. You're right. Because you're looking.
7. Would crime scene specialty matter here?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, and so the difficulty is normally what for this roll?
Normally 6.
So it's 5. Yay. Yay, magic.
My epic 2 successes.
Hey, John, what's the gauntlet here?
It is 4.
All right. Lucas is going to kind of act like he is investigating something is way behind a tree and then step sideways.
Perfect.
I got 4 successes against difficulty 5, John.
Ouch.
Over the pack link to Lucas. Let me know what you find.
Will do.
I guess I'll continue to investigate, looking for anything that sticks out or stands out.
All right. So Lucas gets to the other side. Air, 2 successes. We find some tracks, some signs of activity.
What
Aaron
kind of
with
tracks
4
are they?
A mix of wolf and human.
Okay.
Aaron with 4 successes finds you'll find evidence that of not only of the tracks but of like temporary structures, like tents or something were moved. It looks like a lot of activity around the burned tree, that sort of thing.
Someone set up some things around here. Can I use forces to make a? Yeah, I don't care about the freaking paradox because science. Can I whip up like a little camera so that they can see the outline of what I see using forces? Via basically, he kind of
So you basically want to highlight them?
Yeah.
Sure.
I have a very interesting laser pointer. It's pretty cool. I promise.
All right. Um.
I got a success. Do I need to keep rolling?
You can if you want it to last longer. Right now, it's real brief.
It's been a willpower point. So I've got 3 successes currently. All for duration. And what he does is he takes this laser pointer and he says, okay, where this, and like it shows like an outline of what he's talking about. There's where that structure is. There that structure was. There's where that structure was. They were moved hastily. I think there was a lot of activity around this tree. The people who did the burning, they were here a bit. I don't know why. Interesting, isn't it?
Do I recognize like what buildings were where, structures?
Um,
The one you said this was center of things, so I'd have to imagine I'd recognize some sort of pattern.
yeah, these were definitely the ones used by the, like the sept for gatherings type, rites master's tent. You would have had like the larger mess tent, that sort of thing.
Okay.
What does the Umbra look like?
Relatively sparse. Around the tree is definitely pretty dead. Doesn't seem to be a lot going on.
No spirits hanging out.
No, not really.
Okay.
Aaron, what do you think happened?
Well, I think there was some sort of experimentation done, some sort of process. You see, they set up here these the structures that I was thinking temporary. I mean, they needed them in order to do what it is that they were trying to do. Now, what does that smack of to you? Say no names, but think it. Mm-hmm. Now,
He nods. She nods.
now, while they needed those structures, the question is what they needed here and why they needed to burn things to hide it. And is it not odd? Take a whiff.
She does so.
John, you've not mentioned any burn smell at all.
There's not a lot. The one tree would have been the only.
Regular fire don't do that, is what I'm saying.
You remember what Air did with the tree at Fairyland, John? She's going to do a similar thing, put her hands on it and try to focus on its energy. See if there's anything left of it.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to roll my Gnosis or...
Yeah.
She's going to be go focus on it. Gnosis? At what?
Standard is fine.
Was there any reflection of the tree in the umbra?
Just the same kind of burned skeletal stump.
Okay.
John, usually when things are burnt like this, there's usually minor fire spirits that usually occupy the area. Is there any of that there?
You don't see any lingering, but there's definitely sign that there was some here.
Is there any way I could track that?
So you want to basically try and pick up on the specific fire spirits?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be. Let me see. Ooh, excuse me.
Eureka! Perhaps the facility was erected to take something.
Sounds like a fair guess.
Does it not seem odd that they would go through all the trouble of erecting a structure around this thing, then set it ablaze? What does setting something ablaze do? In our understanding, it destroys something utterly. Yes, but what if the whole point of the fire was to cover up what they took?
Yeah,
What do you think it is that they took? Sorry, John.
If you wanted to try and kind of figure out which way the spirits went, you could do so with a Spirit 1 and Prime 2 to try and kind of like pick up on the specific resonance of those spirits, so to speak.
All right.
Is there any way that any of you have to find something that was taken, something that was missing?
Titania will take out a piece of chalk from her bag and begin drawing something on the ground.
Something was about to happen. I already know.
Making sigils and things on the floor. And then she'll draw a small alchemical circle. And I will start rolling things. What different? Yeah, hold on. So that is going to be
my Gnosis roll.
With your Gnosis roll, Air can tell that the tree is an empty husk. Like spiritually, it's hollow.
She'll start muttering in an incomprehensible language. God damn it.
Beyond this tree being the oldest tree in the forest, like, what is there anything of importance about it other than that it was the center of things? And yeah, like I said, that it was the oldest thing in the forest.
Mm.
Is this
Yeah, it
place
was literally the center of a sect.
is this place of any sort of significance that I don't understand? You can just say yes or no. You don't have to tell me what it is.
John, spend a point of willpower for the Spirit 1 Prime 2 effect.
Lucas comes back across.
Era looks at him very, she says, this was a place of spiritual power, great spiritual power.
Now, do those places of spiritual power, whatever that means, have some sort of source of that power? Something that could have been here that was a reason for it to be the source. I mean, random trees are not just centers of specific significance. Why is this tree in particular? Why was it the center?
Well, that's what I was getting at when I asked you that, John. Okay. And Air looks, she's just like, she literally says, oh, fuck.
Mm.
Packling to air. There's nothing over there.
Over the pack, they fucking took the heart.
Yeah, it looks that way. The tree has no spiritual.
I don't know if they
Anything
destroyed it or if they moved it. And she says, this tree was the source of the power.
Okay.
So 2 successes for the tracking thing.
So you can tell that the reason you're not sensing the fire spirit is it came from actually deep below the earth.
Can I have intelligence cosmology? What type of fire spirit? See if it
Sure.
came below the earth. Oh wow. No successes.
So would that be likely something you're not familiar with, or just that you can't recognize from the information you have?
This fire wasn't started by normal means, I can tell you that much. Whoever started this fire, it came below the earth. It's underneath the crust of the earth.
Came from below.
Putting the chalk back in our purse.
So this was a snatch and grab. They took whatever it is that thing was elsewhere and then destroyed everything around you so that you would have no way to track what they took. Very interesting. But, they forgot one thing.
What's that?
That you people can track such things. I assume you'd be pretty crappy spiritual warrior if you couldn't do that, right? But
Well, that depends what took it from deep in the ground or how the fire started. Obvious and who started it. Because from what you're pointing out, these tent areas and these structures, it looks like somebody performed a ritual.
Aha! Who can use this thing? And what would you use it for?
This thing.
Whatever it is was taken. They took it to use it. They didn't destroy it. So why would you take it?
To keep someone else
They're
from
going
having
to
it.
try to move it somewhere else, yes, and to keep someone else from having it.
If this is a place of massive spiritual power, do you have any enemies strong enemies, she'll turn to air. Lucas, like,
Can you make another one?
All of the people. Was that sure?
Mhm.
We can't make another one.
No.
But
The thing they took, can they
no,
use it?
everyone that dwelled here. Um, that's
I mean, if you have a power,
under the right circumstances. Yes,
I only ask
I
because
suppose
from a
they could use
from
it.
a logic thing is if I have a power source and I want to power something, I need a power source. So that's why I would take something that looked like an engine. It's like a spiritual engine. So I would take it and stick it in my
Yes.
whatever I wanted it to work.
Yes, they would just need to find another place that could use it, and I think if I recall, they can't just stick it anywhere
Okay.
to
So
use
do
it.
you have a map?
I don't have a map.
Well, there can't be many places of whatever that you could just stick this. I will consider, okay, just for my own purposes, there can't be many other machines that you can stick this battery in. Correct?
Correct. I don't know of any
Okay.
other places here that they could do it with. Unless they.
You don't. But are there
Mm-mm.
EDIs that you could consult?
I have friends that I can consult in various areas of the city, yes.
EDIs, extra dimensional entities, because people are stupid.
Well, spirits know a lot more, but there aren't any here.
Well, of course, they set them all on fire so that they wouldn't be here to help you.
Would seem. Wait a minute. Hey. So, actually, I might have someone I can bring here.
Are they stupid?
So, you're going to need to give me a few minutes. See
I
if
don't
there's
possess
anything
the
else
sphere.
you guys can,
I don't possess the sphere required to
You
give
don't-
you any more time.
well, I can get this individual here, but it's going to take a minute.
Ah, that you did not mean that literally. Okay, I'm sorry. He will break down the phone and stick it back into its compartment, into his box, and he will kind of stand there looking confused.
All right. If there's anything else, the three of you can do right here to look into things. I need to go quickly.
Well, then go quickly.
She's going to walk off back the way they seem to have come, in behind some trees and sideways, because I need to step sideways to summon a spirit. So now I just need to pull the book open because I need to use the rite of spirit summoning. So first, John, is the gauntlet higher now?
It's still 4 over here.
sideways in order to use Rite of Spirit.
Wits
Summon
plus
him
rituals.
anyway. So just for the record, the spirit Blitzritz, okay. The spirit I'm trying to summon is Sherlock, because he's before. And if I have it, I know it's Wits Ritz. I just don't know what the diff is. Isn't it dependent on something with spirit? I'm opening my book. It's just taking.
It's up to the storyteller. It's
Okay.
dependent on him and what he decides.
Hey, John, when we came over, did we sense the bond at all?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. Well, first I'm gonna hop sideways. Oh, hey, magic at that. I'm over in the Umbra. So now my Wits and Ritz. What's the diff do you want for my Wits or Ritz to summon Mr. Sherlock? Oh,
I'd say difficulty 6.
okay.
The longer you take, the easier it gets.
Yeah, I'm gonna take I'll take a few extra minutes just to get it right. So
It's not minutes, like hours, because it's like a ritual.
okay.
So,
Okay,
like,
yeah, I suppose I don't have hours to wait, so I guess we'll stick with the 6 and got one success. To summon the old Sherlock.
with one success, spirit comes eventually and is initially hostile.
It's okay, I'll just remind him.
What's that?
I said the spirit comes, but it's initially going to be hostile.
I said that's okay, I'll just remind him.
Right.
Hey, John, when I was in the Umbra, you said there weren't really any spirits in that near area. Did I see any that were maybe within where the bond should have been?
No, not really.
Okay.
Sherlock's gonna punch air in the face.
Don't hit me. Here, have a tasty Gnosis treat.
Since I have spirit side up, can I see their heritage? John?
I would think so.
Oh, that's interesting.
Would a perception plus would an in plus rituals or in plus occult let them know the right shimonage for the spirit?
Yeah, that would probably help. Or spirit lore would be good too.
Yeah, well, I mean, this spirit at least expected her to summon him again at some point because she told him she would. So,
So he does show up, looking not quite as pleased as last time you had spoke with him.
I apologize for summoning you at this time, but, well, I can see things, aren't well here.
He just kind of looks at you, and he says, "Gathered that, did you?"
Repeat that, John? Sorry.
He had said, "You figured that out, did you?"
Didn't take a whole lot to figure that out. It's been bad for a while, but not this bad. There are no spirits here. They took a heart. We are trying to figure out how they did it, or if well, I know you dwell here, used to here, maybe you saw something or heard something. Hmm.
He looks at you and says, "As you have at least learned to start asking the right questions. But you missed the first one. Who took the heart? That's the first question you should have started with."
You're correct.
He looks at you and says, "Well, that would be simple. The new Alpha, Magnuson,
New Alpha?
well, you see, it turns out that when a Silver Fang is semi-immortal, or at least has lived for a very long time, he becomes very untrustworthy. We're talking multiple lifetimes. Load your sept with allies, point out this discrepancy, and then when they demonstrate that he's survived mortal wounds through duels over the generations to hold that title, because let's face it, Alpha of a Sept for 50 years is highly unusual, um, especially after being ran through repeatedly. So they decide the night of
Yes.
Beltane that it's time for a new alpha. What they didn't count on was someone summoning a spirit of rage and fire.
Yeah, you cut off like completely after the word rage for me.
I think he said a spirit of rage and fire.
Correct.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
She'll pipe up and say, so that's what was under the crust.
Does this spirit have a name?
I don't know that it does. I think it may have been one of the nameless ones from deep below that barely remember their identity. A more primordial one, if you will.
All right. Where did Magnuson take the heart, if you know?
Well, when the old alpha burst into flame, as did the tree, he assumed it was some sort of treachery or trick. And so they, keeping allies here to make sure the alpha did in fact burn, they threw more fire onto him. And Magnuson, salvaging the heart, took it to establish a new frozen forest. Because it turns out that serves as the anchor.
You can't just do that anywhere, right? There's specific criteria for a space he can do that to or use it.
There are some that would be better for it than others.
So no, he knows exactly where he went with it. Just that he's in search of a place to do it.
No, he's not in search. He's established it.
She raises an eyebrow.
Would certain things like that be loud? And oftentimes draw like super attention.
Well, I'm sure the spirits of the area noticed, probably welcomed it. Let's see,
Okay. I'm sure the spirits of that area did.
Packlink. Does he know where?
Over the pack link. I've asked twice. I'm sure the spirits of that area are happy, but where is this area?
He chuckles a little bit and says, well, I suppose we, if we're going to be sharing that much information, we should start with what you intend to do with it and end with what you intend to pay for it. You know by now, of course, that I'm willing to help, but he looks around and he gestures around and says, as you can see, I find myself in a bit of a unpleasant state of residency.
That you do. What is your preferred residency?
He looks and says, I suppose that's a valid question. Generally, it was where there's guru and preferably a bond between me and those of the city. That was always a good start.
Well, I can think of a few places that fit that criteria. I might be able to do something about that for you.
He looks at you and says, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're probably not sending me to wherever the new frozen forest is.
No. Because I don't know where that is, so I can't guarantee that, can I? Not that I think that you want to go back there after, well, what they did to you in the first place.
No, I don't.
That be correct?
I don't feel that that was a good environment for me by any means.
I would agree.
But I cannot just keep wandering around.
Attention.
That's true.
Sort of like wave at her direction, not cutting her off, just allowing her to finish what she's saying. You could
Air kind
maybe
of
offer
glances
something.
over at her.
Maybe you can offer something else.
She'll just nod. A home. Not here or there. I can definitely make that happen for you. However, those locations with all She glances at Titania. Cannot be disclosed at this exact moment.
Well,
She glances back at Sherlock.
perhaps I'm no expert, but maybe if you made something that sort of brought you and your kind and did a thing that was pleasing to the spirit, maybe it could do.
That's the intent.
But she'll simply shrug
She
and
kind of
turn her back, realizing that she's probably not supposed to be paying attention.
she kind of looks at Sherlock and says, "Now, I'm sure you know stories regarding my ancestors that aren't so, well, favorable. But I keep my word. And said I can make sure that you have a more suitable living area if you desire it. But that will have to be a discussion between you and I. Only after this. It's not like you can't hunt me down.
He nods and says, "Of course. You went to the old estate, the one to the west of here.
Old estate.
The local tongue, it is known as the Bennebrokbus. Estate houses for the well-to-do, thick forests, thick hedges, closed during most of the day.
She nods. And they've moved. I assume the queen is with them.
He chuckles and he says, "Of sorts. There's a monument there dedicated to a mortal queen from where she inspected troops."
Hmm. She nods.
pack link to air. Is there really anything else we can do here?
Go ahead. As far as the heart goes,
And the heart's
No.
gone. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing here. We know what happened to it now.
right?
We probably don't want to go off to these estates without backup.
Yeah, we need a whole war party for that.
Did we want to go look at the crime scene while we're here today too?
Yes, might as well. She'll look back at Sherlock. Can't imagine the queen was thrilled of leaving her home.
I'm sure not.
After all, this was her home long before the Guru were here.
In a manner of speaking, perhaps. Ultimately, the key is that she was tied to that same heart.
Yes. Well, I do have a question. Considering the history, is this the original queen that the original owners per se of this place per se followed, or was this actually the Snow Queen of my people?
That is a good question. One I can't truly answer. It was some sort. I knew it as a spiritual entity, much like any other of the great spirits. There are aspects of them in many places. Was it an aspect of the Snow Queen spirit? Was it a part of the Fae bound as a spirit? Was it some conglomeration of the two? I don't know.
Um, oh, I believe it. She was closer to the Fae end of it all, but I can't guarantee it. Just, just a belief at this point.
Mm-mm. Mm.
Now, if this place is completely void of power, would turning the heart make this place live again in time?
Do you mean if you were to bring a heart back here, could it regrow into what it was? Potentially.
Okay. Don't expect to be exactly as it was, but right.
It's also possible that whatever they have built might end up being a better result, too.
It's true.
I'm sure a monument to a queen and a estate are more to the liking of the Fey folk.
Perhaps. You mentioned that the former Alpha was slightly immortal. How does that happen?
He shrugs and he goes, I can't tell you. I don't screw with the Fey.
Is it possible that he was harboring another, as it were, like or under some kind of spell or curse, as it were?
I'm sure there was something unusual going on.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, definitely. I suppose. I'll work on your new lodgings, as it were. And I will leave you to your, as I've just from something. If there's anything else that I can do, don't be afraid to ask.
He nods. He will keep that in mind.
Next time I summon you, it will be to discuss those lodgings between you and I. Which will be soon. If you don't mind being summoned for that, of course.
Well, it does seem like a logical way to go about it, does it not?
I would hope so. She kind of smiles at him. Thank you for your help, and we'll talk again soon. And she'll kind of give him a polite head bow. Before taking her leave.
He says, I look forward to it.
Good. With that, she'll leave him to his work and kind of slowly back away and let him do his thing. She'll wait for him to go before she steps back sideways again.
And it doesn't take him long before he does so.
Okay. And yeah, I will step back sideways. And I suppose, I don't know if these guys are all doing something, but I've been talking an awful lot now. I suppose they can do something.
So this is a religious thing for you and Lightning Boy. She blinks.
She raises an eyebrow.
Is this the
That's
part where
one
we all?
way
Sorry.
She looks at Aaron.
Now, don't get all snippety about people noticing things that normal people don't. We're not normal. We should accept that and move the hell on. So, did you discover anything useful? If not, it was very useless for you to talk.
I know where they took it. However, that is going to require more forces than the four of us.
Why? You have mages. I don't know about you, but through science, I control the fundamental building blocks of the universe.
Ass loads of giant, hairy, rage-filled
So?
beings.
If we were going there to fight giant rage-filled beings, then yes, that could prove difficult. If our plan is to go get the heart and steal it back, well, that's a completely different operation, isn't it?
It is, sort of, but
If we go,
something like that is something that's usually extremely well protected.
say we did that, say we went and stole the heart and brought it back here, wouldn't we just be creating what we have here over there?
Well, I mean, does it really take a day for this engine to kick in?
I mean, I don't know how long it takes.
Or-
I'm just saying we've got a dead zone here. If we go steal the heart from where they have it now, wouldn't we have a dead zone there too?
Well, dude, science does state that energy can neither be
Yes.
created nor destroyed. It can simply be changed. So, that being said, stands to reason, in my opinion. Again, my opinion, which is based on science. I posit that the natural forces that existed in this place that were destroyed, well, damaged severely, could be cajoled into assisting us. If indeed the EDIs and their anthropomorphic existences and faces that people put on them have personalities, he's using air quotes, by the way, personality, then would it not be feasible that there were allies? It stands to reason anything this old, and you said it's old, and this powerful, and you said it's powerful, was here for this long, and you said it was here for a long time. Could it not
Been here for a
be
very long
that
time.
then would it not mean that other connections were formed that the people who were so eager to take it didn't think about upsetting? Forces that could be directed by your own self.
It's not entirely impossible.
But the question is, was a wrong done? By your estimation of however you people decide what's right and wrong, because it's not human, and I'm not either. So I'm asking.
There were wrongs done.
Okay.
Many
What?
of them.
Okay.
By a variety of individuals.
The rituals that were enacted, these procedures that were enacted by these people, they were against things. It's a yes or no question. Okay.
Yes.
You have an opposing force that's over there. You are your force. The force that you bring to bear, is it simply other furry, violent creatures with rage? Or is there an quote unquote spiritual aspect? Let me speak plainly. Is anybody else other than you people going to be mad?
I can't imagine why they would be.
Well, there's a possibility mad about what they've done.
Okay. Would the enemy of my enemy not be your friend?
She raises an eyebrow. There's a lot to sort out with this one.
Okay, then. So what you're saying is that we can't help you, and this is purely your problem, correct?
Sounds like to me.
Technically.
Okay, then.
Technically, no offense. However, there's still one other thing here. There's a murder somewhere else in this very same forest as well.
Yes, but do you really care? It's not got to do with your fucking tree.
We don't know that.
I mean, you didn't say it did. Did you ask whoever
For
you
all
asked?
we know,
About?
it could
Did
be
you ask that guy
some
about?
shit.
I'm not too sure what's going on.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
go
did not
investigate
ask
the dead
him
body
about.
because
I did not ask him about the body. Yes.
okay. I'm gonna go investigate that because I'm allowed to do that.
Is the body still there?
It might just be the crime scene, but
I think we've gotten everything we're getting out of this, unless we're going to go raid something.
yeah, we
Oh,
need to
I'm
go
not
look at
reading
the crime
anything.
scene.
It could be murder.
Because you remember, she looks at Lucas. Do you remember what happened the last time a body was found here? Didn't I tell you about that?
Out of game. We're talking the sewers.
It led to the sewers. Yeah. Yes. Out of character, a reminder, the body we found was a kinfolk body.
Okay. Also out of character, would the prince, would he care about any of this?
Would what?
Your great grand prince of the vampires, would he care about any of this?
Great. Maybe, I don't know. That's something that will eventually get explored in character, though. So back in character.
Right.
So, just so I understand, we can get this straight. That over there is a you problem, and you don't want us involved. However, the dead body over here, we can all investigate. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I was just checking.
No. Yes. Let's investigate the corpse or the body or whatever's left of what's going on over there.
Titania.
Oh,
Titania,
Yes.
if there's a magical princess over here, we have to leave.
It seems like there's a whole lot of things we're not supposed to know and or understand.
It's fine. I'm not salty. There's just a mystery I can't solve because of you people.
All right. To the crime scene.
No, please lead with the horns, person.
I guess I'm leading to the crime scene.
Because if you eat me, I'll be sad.
Starfade. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
All right. So you guys get to where the crime scene was. So relatively short journey.
Okay.
Is the crime scene within where the bond was supposed to be?
It would have been somewhere in the edge.
Okay.
Um, and it is pretty much gone. The entire area is scorched.
It's like their fire. Does this one appear to be a spirit fire or like a man-made type fire?
It's a lot more of a wildfire type. Seems to be a lot more of a natural burn pattern.
Not having any training in that, what would be the role to try and find the like the starting point or what caused it?
Wits survival probably would be your best bet.
So, John, it was a crime scene. Now it is a scorched husk of earth. Yes,
Correct.
you said it was a crime scene, not a scorched husk of earth. John,
Okay. So
Titania. Okay.
Yes,
Titania, can you sense metaphysical energy
I can.
of our type, of any type, actually?
Yes, that's how I can see them.
No, no, no.
Looking back at Air and the Lightning Boy.
Not the manifestations of extra dimensional energy. I mean more magic itself,
I
power.
can. Yes.
Can you pinpoint the? Is there in this particular area, where there was allegedly a crime scene? Can you sense the presence of any of that energy?
Yes, I can. John, what would you like me to roll for that?
Well, that would be a that should just be like a prime site.
Will do. One success.
Oh well, with one you would still be able to recognize that there's definitely some sort of magical energies here at some point.
What can I have a mage lore or enigmas roll?
Yeah, I could see either one really. So whichever one's higher, feel free. Standard diff.
Um, um, 3 successes. For enigmas.
Alrighty. With 3 successes, you would you'd recognize 2 different types of energy. One was a spiritual type, clearly fairly or a bit older, and one was definitely more recent.
If I want to tune in on the more recent one, how would I do that? I'm sure it'll be a lot brighter than the other one.
Yeah, that would probably be your number 1 tip off.
So she'll explain that there's a very old and powerful energy that was here, but that energy is long gone. But there's something else, a little bit more recent, in that direction. To a point.
Another energy, huh?
Mhm.
Another powerful energy.
Yes, indeed.
This is right at
Well-
the. Is this? Sorry, was this outside the bond still or inside?
This would be right at the edge.
Okay.
Out of character, can the mages want, even if we don't have spirit or whatever, can we feel that we're someplace? Can we feel this bond thing?
Well, it's not there anymore.
Okay, good. All
There
right, cool.
is no bond now. Yeah. The only reason I'm asking is because Air grew up here in this exact spot, so she knows where the boundaries are.
Can I ask you a question out of character that I don't know if you thought of, but I'll ask it and you can posit it as your own. I don't care.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if this was a sept and they took the heart of the sept, or essentially the heart of the Karen or whatever, every one of the Karens has got a spirit in it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that big motherfucker is probably just kind of sitting around here salty that they took his heart away.
Also, major arcana
Well, that-
spirits like that usually have gafflings that are still around. They don't just disappear.
All right. And that's why she had asked her spirit friend to, like, if they took the queen with her, because the ice queen was the totem for the sept.
Yeah, but he might have beef. Like spirit courts do that. They have beef.
And the Ice Queen is a spirit of respect.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. Stuff your character would know
Oh, the
that I don't.
spirit. Right. Spirit definitely has beef with this sept, but not the spirit, just the guru that were here.
Out of character, you got some past live action we can tap into right quick.
No. No past life.
Okay, but you said that but mage stuff. You did say it was a. To Tanya did say that there was magical energy that she could sense. Yeah,
Yes.
and both of the mages know that whenever you set something on fire, you send it back into the ether. Because that's
General principle. Yes.
yeah. Okay, so it's been sent back to the ether. Can we use it? Kind of weird, but the ether here would match. Well, now, was it completely destroyed? Expelled the base energy. The base energy was not expelled, which means it was not totally removed from this plane, which means parts of it are still here. Yeah? He's talking to Titania. He's like getting very mage theory. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And this place is dead. Yes?
All intents and purposes, yes, except the other spirit that came.
Does its shadow exist?
There's nothing here. Everything was taken.
There were no witnesses.
I didn't say that.
Ah, so there could have been witnesses. Who are the witnesses?
Being that a very old spirit that I could very much tell was here and probably set a great deal of this on fire, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to either see or contact said spirit to figure out why it did it or
So in
who offered
essence,
it.
we could pay him off to rat on his friends.
Essentially, us.
Let's do that.
It'll take some time and research, but
It is an EDI. It is a Spirit of Fire EDI. How hard is it to call it?
Well,
assuming that assuming how fast we want it here, and we had the appropriate things to pay for it.
Oh, okay. Are any of you good at medicine? Healing people and the like?
I'm not. I mean, I know how to heal people, but it might not be the just traditional way of doing
So
things.
sacrifice me and summon him. It requires a sacrifice, obviously. So sacrifice me.
That would be the ideal way to summon a very primordial fire spirit.
Sacrifice you.
Well, a lot of me. It's just blood. Just
summon a. Well,
I'm ready. I have a very sharp knife.
I mean, blood is is quite the life force there.
Snap! Or we could all give a bit, and see if he comes for that.
Good.
Okay, I'm ready to get to ritualing. How do you do that?
That we could.
Lucas is completely out of his depth, and he's just stopped trying to do his damnedest to do his forensic investigation survival stuff.
He goes, I know what you're trying to do. You know why? I try to do it too. But when everything is burned to shit, you can't really find anything. So the best way to do it is
you have to go back to the source. You have to ask the thing that burned it down.
Well, to summon it would be one thing. To talk to it would be something different.
Yes.
Well, since you people can
apparently spirits to talk with it.
Since you people can simply just do it and without really much difficulty, why don't you go just do it? Apparently, you can just traipse on either side of it.
The more you want me to track down this old ass spirit that I don't even know a name for, and just walk up to it and talk to it.
Isn't that how it works?
You have to know their names generally to summon them, or at least what spirit you're summoning. All we know is that this spirit in particular is a primordial fire spirit.
Okay.
Honestly, how many primordial fire spirits can you have in one zone?
It's exactly what I was about to say in character.
Well,
I know it was.
um,
All the primordial spirits.
Yes.
I mean, how many can there be?
we don't know.
Is there a tree spirit handy? I bet he can tell you.
As far as we know, there's one, but that's as far as we know.
Well, let's get to blood sacrifice.
That'll be the best quote unquote way to summon something old. In that respects.
Oh, fuck this. Y'all have magic and call, right? He takes a knife and draws it across his arm and drips his blood into the ground right there, right over the spot where the ritual was done. Get to calling. This hurts. I'll take 3 lethal.
That's a hell of a gash.
So,
Yeah. It is.
That needs medical treatment.
Ow!
You went down to the white meat.
This hurts. Call someone. Magic things now. Ow!
you're going to want to put something on that.
I need some Bactine.
Air just kind
Titania will
of
hand you some
palms,
bourbon that she has in her purse, but we got right now.
If he's just dropped a bunch of blood.
Get the ritual in. Spread on a tree or something. Ow!
Except for right at
I'm not you
some
mystic
point.
people do things. Fucking hurts. Fuck, I'll do it. It's an old forest, right? Great, powerful
That's
prime
right.
mirror, spirit of fire. Using spirit 1. He screams. I want to talk to you.
That's anything. Well,
John, I got spirit 1. It'll work. I can
yeah,
scream.
he can scream. Swear one, they'll hear him. What responds is another thing.
Y'all use the magic shit. I did the sacrificing part, goddammit.
All right. Well, the blood will flare up. At which point, a large humanoid, for lack of a better word, shows up, basically a fire giant.
Lovely. Don't
Out.
they have?
Out in the real world?
Yep.
Tanya put a hand on her hip.
What the is that?
This is what happens when you don't practice and you just yell into the ether. She says.
Lucas
Can
takes
I
a bit of a defensive stance and
roll an intelligence spirit lore? Like looking
Sure.
at this spirit now.
He looks at his phone and it beeps once. He
Just
goes,
trying
now
to see
you
if I
look.
can Let's see. What do you want the diff to be?
7.
Fire spirit.
It'll be a diff 7.
Okay.
John. She talks. You, spirit.
Got
Yeah,
one success.
it turns and looks.
I have some questions. Are you in the business of negotiations? As she reaches into her purse and hands what looks to be a shining it's a shining, almost looks like almost a butterfly. She'll kind of toss it at the spirit to point of quintessence. I would like some answers.
It kind of looks at the butterfly,
Mm.
reaches out, grasps it, and it devours it in flames.
The things that were here, the creatures that were here, they did something to this place. How long ago were they here? What did they take? And in what direction did they go? How many of them?
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
He kind of chuckles and says, "The creatures that were here, the wolves did not do this.
What did this?
He looks around and says, "I did. Why do you think I came when you called?"
Why did you do this thing?
"Because that was the bargain."
Who struck the bargain?
He grins, and as he does, he pulls out a flaming sword and starts to sharpen it, and he says, "Well, that would be telling then, wouldn't it?"
Great! Fire! Fire sword! Fire fucking sword!
And what price would one need to pay for you to tell?
Well, given not telling was part of the original bargain,
How exactly was the part about not telling in the bargain worded?
he looks and he says, "You are creative negotiators, I will admit.
I will unleash you for mass destruction if you come hang out with me and tell me where these guys are."
He chuckles and he says, "He's a better negotiator."
I don't really care who dies. Do you want to just come hang out with me for a while? I can guarantee you wanton destruction. Easy.
He gestures and he says, "The agreement was that I would not reveal the identity of who did this, who called me for this purpose."
Yes, but what about the idiots with it?
What about the individuals that were around said person?
Two there were. Two
Their
bargains
names.
struck.
Their names were.
Joe and Blow.
The bargain with one was for discretion. The bargain with the other was not.
I assume that the one was asking for discretion was only made for one person, but not for the other. I'm asking for information on the other that didn't cover his tracks.
He gestures deeper into the forest and he says, it wasn't a matter of covering tracks. When Gunnar Thorson summoned me, he made it quite clear. Let them know who called. Let them know who sent fire upon them. There was no request for discretion because he didn't care. He wanted them to be aware of him.
Air just kind of puts her face in her palm as she's just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, rough.
Okay. Is that all we're asking him?
So I can think of, honestly, because I'm not a werewolf.
A what?
Out of character.
Strength of the heels. A what?
Oh,
Out of character, would
all right.
Lucas have any idea who this Gunnar person is?
Was he there? I
No.
think he was there.
For
He
which?
was at the moot.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you guys should be
Was at that
asking right
first
now.
moot.
Okay.
Okay. So, we know who summoned you. All right.
So this is out of character. This is the Prince
They're
Gunnar
just
that
kinda
he's
like-
talking about?
Yeah.
On her
Okay.
face.
What a dick.
Yeah.
So he called in a fire giant to nuke the
Oh
forest.
no.
Seems like you guys have some
So,
treachery. Titania says, like,
Total werewolf problem.
she says, I don't know about that. Air kind of half smirks. But shit, I forgot what I was gonna ask. Out of character. Obviously, Gunnar wasn't the one that asked for discretion. So, I don't even know what to ask. My brain just completely farted out on me.
you should okay, I'll type it out. If that's okay, John.
Yeah.
Why would Gunnar do this? Unless I missed something.
Air just kind of looks at Lucas. And over the backlink side, maybe because those the guru on the sept fucked with his family for way too long.
That doesn't make any sense. Oh, that's backlink. My bad.
This is over the backlink.
I know.
Yeah, that was backlink. Yep. It makes more sense than you actually know, Marcus, out of character.
So, big guy, when do we start to hang out?
He
Hmm.
just kind of looks at you. And he says, I imagine I will get a hold of you when the time is right.
Okay, I have a phone. Like, I promise you, apparently EDIs can
He
inhabit
just
my
kind of
phone.
laughs when he says, "I have."
So if you decide to inhabit my
Um,
phone, a flame icon would be so helpful. If you could.
He says,
So you can't give a name as to assist.
Stuff all of your giant primordial essences.
I will make sure you are aware of who I am when I reach out to you.
That works. Lots of burning.
Oh, no, no.
So out of character, because I'm tired and getting confused. Gunnar is not the one who summoned the fire giant, just the one who wanted it summoned, right?
He said he summoned it, but that there was someone else who entered the bargain too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other one who wishes to remain nameless was this individual vampire, maybe a will worker or a guru.
He looks at you and says, yes, definitely one of those.
So it was a will worker.
Which one? Which one was the individual?
He looks at you again and says, that would be part of an identity, which the agreement was not to share.
Not really. There are many guru, many vampires, and many will workers, are there not? Without a name, it's kind of hard to narrow it down either way.
If you cannot name and directly state your purpose, however, would you be able to name and speak in song and any other limerick? A fable is different than outright saying what happened, who, and therefore.
What was that?
What did my character walk into?
There's a fire giant in the middle. There's two people, and I think you know the other folks.
One of them is bleeding profusely.
Sliced his hand open.
Oof.
No, he didn't go across the street. He went down the hall. He needs medical attention now.
Veronica
Air
looks up
will
Pat,
kind of
please.
reach over and touch Aaron's arm. And, well, I mean, I believe Mother's touch is difficulty of rage, right? But you don't have rage, so it's 6.
Okay.
So
That
it's
heals ag, right?
intelligent. What is it?
Does that heal ag?
Empathy.
He'll sleep up. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm rolling this. Mother's
Yeah.
touch. Where's my empathy? Where is it? Where is it?
Mother's touch heals ag, Marcus.
Here we go.
Good. That's what my knife does.
Where's my empathy?
That explains so much.
Okay.
It's the upgraded
So-
version, Grandmother's touch, that allows you to
The
do
ginger
other stuff.
werewolf puts her hand on Aaron's arm.
Hey, Aaron.
And I did a whopping 1.
That's what you're gonna call him, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Aaron.
Packlink. Hey, is your because he's your ancestor or whatever? Does he know you? Like, could you ask him what they were doing or what their motivations were beyond just what you had said before?
Over the pack link. I can ask him a lot of things. It doesn't mean he's going to give me a straight answer. One thing's for sure.
Packlink is
I trust him enough to say that he knows what he's doing. However,
Freaking vampire!
my other concern is who was with him. She's still kind of like looking at the spirit, trying to persuade him into giving the answer of at least whether it was another vampire, a will worker, or another guru.
so out of game. This is the Nahag tree.
No. We're in the
Okay.
frozen forest, not in land.
Okay.
You want me to roll a charisma on something to try to persuade him?
Yeah, you can.
What is it, a charisma?
If I had spirit speech, I'd be like, have me do the charisma.
I have a 4 in charisma.
That's very
So,
good.
not bad. Persuasion is also my specialty.
I have the charisma
I'm
attribute.
just trying to figure out what
Um,
goes with it.
something more,
Charisma.
or actually
Yeah.
up the ante on the bargain that he just made. If somebody pays more than what the other person paid, then they're obligated to snitch.
Right, that's what I was initially trying to get at. But
Okay.
Out of game, Air, my ancestry went up. Do you want to see if I can roll that and maybe see if the... I kind of walked it on
He's
this,
trying to
so
figure out what to roll with a charisma and.
what are you're trying to get him to reveal something?
Yes.
Subterfuge is good for figure out things that you're hiding. Expression is usually good for getting people to make your point across.
Yeah, I'd say probably expression since you're trying to deal legit.
All right, so straight charisma then. 'Cause I don't have expression.
Depending on if it's Gaian or worm type of spirit that is, you could just beat the hell out of it. That's also option C.
Yep.
Or aggressively bind it to something else and be like, you answer what the fuck I want, or you're
Well,
going
the
in the
plus
tree.
side is I
Like,
got 3 successes on my epic just charisma roll.
Lost my tab. So 3 successes. Try and convince him to reveal more. And he will, he looks at you and he says, I don't know that I'm in a position to. And he kind of smirks a little bit and he says, share the details of Gunner's allies like that. And he kind of winks.
She just kind of looks at him. Oh.
John, am I able to roll to see if I could help her with figure out some stuff? Like perception and subterfuge, maybe there's.
Uh,
You're not really. Wouldn't really be betraying Gunner. If you tell me. She emphasizes the word me.
Where do you get the juice to pull it off?
he looks at the spirit, looks at you and grins, and he says, I believe the quote is something about the dark side being a path to many powers that might be found considered unnatural.
Oh,
Oh shit.
that makes sense. Out of character.
Damn, now I want to ask her something.
Do it.
What do you think?
Give me a moment. Gotta look at the forum because there was a. So John, I want to ask him. I want to bring up in a code talk like Nahag, like with what I found out with that side quest. Just drop.
Which one?
Just mention the word, like when he's saying dark secrets. Just mention the word Nahag and see if he knows what I'm talking about.
He says, well, there are many spirits of darkness.
Like night.
Night is certainly one of them.
Night shadows.
Even some of the forest spirits are darker. Then there are those who find other ways to forge relationships with the spirits.
They also seem to. Some of these dark spirits seem to compete rather than work together. Looks like. Unless I'm mistaken.
Perhaps it's some combination of the two.
Out of game error. I'm trying to help you with this.
Nothing.
Perhaps you should consider who had something to gain by having this place obliterated.
I don't believe. I wonder if it's the same person that's doing more than just obliterating the Karen.
Um.
What's out of game? What was that Shadow Lord that was killed, and they want to know who did it? Like call storms or something?
Oh, the old Rights Master.
In the other sept, yeah. Wasn't like McUther wondering who killed him?
That had been brought up, yeah.
Pack link to air. So, do you believe this is the Megasins? Because conveniently, there was a Shadow Lord that was killed at the Sept that was mentioned from Mick Uther, and the Warder was killed.
Over the pack link. Absolutely not. Why would they help Gunner? Gunner detests them as much as I do, if not more.
Okay, out of game, I did not know Gunner.
Out of game, Veronica's met him once.
No, I meant like with the burning of the forest. Like I thought it was that was being figured out. I didn't realize.
Oh,
I didn't realize you found a culprit.
okay. He was the one that wasn't being discreet about summoning this, having the spirit summoned or summoning it. Oh, Magnuson over the Packling. The Magnuson is guilty of removing the heart, killing the former Alpha, and making himself Alpha of the space they took the heart.
You just hear in the pack link a growl if it's like removing the heart of the Karen. And what pack link still? So what kind of spirit is this?
The spirit, it's a fire giant.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe sense worm to figure out if it's Gaian or not. That's the voice in the wind.
Don't have sense worm.
And neither do I, and I don't have worm lore.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, Lucas sense worm, but he's gone now.
Oh dear.
I've sent in the true form. That doesn't tell me much of anything. We know it's spirit.
So so out of game, like he's not giving information because he's loyal to Gunnar. That's just
No, he's made contracts. He made agreements,
Yeah.
and part of one of them was not to share any details.
Would there be any way for them to sort of make another agreement? Basically, sorry.
that's what I was kind of like looking into, a different agreement.
Well, and that's what Air was trying to do. That's said, what would it take? Right. What would it
And
take to get you to get you to say something?
but if it's like
essentially?
laughing and smiling about it, ain't any boo boo. That doesn't sound too Gaian.
Just so I'm clear, the big magical fire giant dude made deals with the other dude. He made 2 packs. One was with the gunner to not reveal what.
Information.
No, he made the one deal with Gunner, which was to burn the Cairnheart.
Okay.
And then he made another one with someone else to burn this site, but also to not reveal who he was.
Right. So Gunner is left with his swinging in the wind because the other cat made a better deal.
Hold on. So the exact word is not to reveal who it is.
And not to reveal
The other person.
the identity
Could
of
he?
the other
Could we?
person.
Could we make a deal that he can give a point of direction where they went?
He's
Yeah,
been
he
pretty
mentioned
clear.
plans.
He has been pretty clear so far about keeping the spirit of the deal. That revealing details would reveal the identity.
What about an intimidation roll?
You really want to face off with the dude with the big flaming sword upside the head? Because I don't.
I mean, that's a get. Like, out of character, that's a get. You can count that thing.
Yeah.
Got it.
Where things that break down, and you're just gonna have to say, you do as I say, or you're going in the stick. Like,
Oh, wait. Hold tight, though. Can I ask something right fast?
I could be a dick. I could be an epic dick right now.
Because the other dude is the important one. I mean, Gunner is awesome. Yeah, great. He wanted people to know. That's great. But, like, how did they do it, though? Isn't that, like, what ritual did they use? How did they even do this? How did they pull this off? All that gnosis being spent and sucked and moved and all, and nobody noticed nothing before the fire? How?
Are you asking the spirit, or is this out of character?
Out of character. That's what I'm at. That's the major question for me is how does that go down?
that's a massive ass ritual just to like move something like that.
So how come nobody noticed the big ass fire? That's my question. Something can cover that up. Who does that? Is that some sort of? I mean,
I don't
not
know
only
why
that.
they didn't notice it, but we don't live at this step, so.
Is there any other spirits nearby, or just this fire giant like storm crows or anything?
This
No,
place is spiritually barren.
The whole place has been pretty much emptied.
Oh, out of character, do any of the werewolves have really stupid ranks and subterfuge?
No.
Shadow Lord.
Okay, so have that conversation. John, she rolls her subterfuge. The big giant spirit rolls her subterfuge. They have an entire conversation that's not him telling.
That's based off if-then statements.
Yes. Be like, the night is dark and long. Did it shadow? Did it? The night is dark and long. Did it shadow cast its pall upon the speaker that made the deal with you?
Well, a lot of yes and no questions. Like,
No. I mean, it's like Tala. It's what shadow would do.
yeah.
My bad. I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah,
And
That's fine.
I'm not a werewolf. I'll shut up. I'm amazed. I'm looking at the wolves, the wolf things. Like,
I'll probably actually do that. See if I could just use subterfuge. Would I have to roll manipulation or charisma with the subterfuge?
do you have the gift persuasion?
Yes, I do.
Use it.
What's the rules for that? Because I don't have my book on me. Like, just
persuasion, I think. Yeah. Hold on, I got it.
thank
I
you.
have the page number.
Out of game, I love you, just for helping me.
No, it's fine. All right, it is a rank 1 Hamid gift. The player rolls charisma plus subterfuge. If successful, the storyteller reduces difficulties of all social rolls by 1 for the remainder of the scene. In addition, any successful social rolls may have significantly more impact than they would without the gift. You could
All
win
right.
arguments with hardline opponents or cause cold-hearted psychopath to relent, at least for a little while.
So I do have a specialty. I'm not sure if John is okay with me using it for charisma or air competence or no.
Just trying to think how that would necessarily apply.
It would mean if the specialty works, my 10s count as 2 successes.
Yeah, I realize that. I'm just trying to think how that specialty would be applicable to what you're trying to do. I mean,
I mean, if it's no, that's fine. I could just roll it.
Yeah, I don't see a good way. I can see that more for like an intimidation, but
Or like a speech or something. That's why I was just
right.
asking. Okay.
Yeah.
And difficulties what?
It would be a standard difficulty.
All right. I'm also spending a willpower. And I must have hit something wrong. It's
then,
it's hashtag.
Yep.
There we go. So 4 successes.
All right. That is going to then I will need a perception subterfuge too. And that'll basically be, do you understand what the hell he's telling you?
Okay.
Tells you.
And this is only through me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you guys are going to have a whole double speak conversation.
Excellent. And it's standard diff?
Yes.
All right. Okay, 1 success. That is Damn. It went from awesome roll to oh boy.
Well, he had 3 successes to communicate.
Okay.
And 2 to kind of follow your questions.
Okay.
So through all of this, you'll piece together that it was the person who made the agreement was a trying to think what the right word would be, like a vassal of Gunner. So someone beholden to him from like a court standpoint. And who was involved in the events at that led to the crime scene to begin with. There might have been more details, but you didn't quite piece them together.
Could you try again for a Enigma's roll to see if she could piece together what was said and what was not said?
Yeah, I would allow a wits enigmas. Let's go with a
All right.
diff. We're gonna say a diff 7 for wits enigmas.
Oh boy. Pack linking the info to air.
Don't you have ancestors?
Okay.
I do.
You should probably roll your ancestors to get more dice.
John, would you allow that or?
Yeah, I mean that's
literally how the background
what
works.
they're for.
Okay. And it's just standard diff to get one?
Allied ancestors is diff 6, and all other ancestors rolls start at diff 8.
Okay. And you can't spend willpower with these, correct? Like
No,
just
you cannot.
Okay, 2 successes for ancestor roll.
2 successes. The 2 successes add bonus dice to your Enigmas roll. No,
Right.
these dice don't explode because you can't take specialties off that.
Okay. So I rolled 2 successes earlier. I'm just going to roll 2 separate dice to represent the extra Enigma dice, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I apologize, John. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
And I forgot something. Well, that minuses one of my successes. Damn it! The ancestor is elusive.
Well,
There's another thing that you could probably do. Since there are individuals that are standing next to you. Well, the mages can't help you, but maybe if the urges, maybe Air can.
Yeah, and I did pack link her to details.
Maybe she could try to piece something together. Maybe something you missed.
Yep. And Air also has ancestors.
No, I don't.
Yes.
I don't
Oh, I
have
thought you did.
background
Oops.
ancestors.
The ancestors background only adds extra dice. But if you have wits enigmas, you're rolling based off her information.
Yep.
Shadow Lord and Get relationships. Oh yeah.
I know that does something else. Trying to figure out what though.
It's a wits enigmas roll, John.
Oral confidence. That's close.
All right. Why am I not seeing a wits enigmas roll? You should.
Huh?
You rolled it, or no? You didn't.
No, I'm asking what you want a diff to be.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you.
I'm going to. I just need to know a diff.
It
Not
will be a
assuming it's
diff
same.
7.
You had 2 successes.
And with 2 successes, you would also piece together that the person responsible was familiar with the area, not just from the crime scene. That he'd been there.
So familiar with the
Right.
SEP?
You know, this is someone who's knows this sept, who is beholden to Gunner, and who
Had something to hide here.
right.
So
I don't know too many people Gunner knows other than
I'm going
Marcus.
to go ahead and assume it was a guru. Glad we're on the same page. And Air is going to kind of start. She says, "I think it was a guru.
I think so too.
I can't be certain, but I think it was." She actually kind of starts walking around the area, like casually looking around to see if there's anything like any place that seems disturbed on the ground or elsewhere, like beyond just normal footsteps. She's really kind of taking her time to look it over. Like, I will even go all out and take my lupus form to sniff and see.
Okay.
So hey, yeah, I think I believe Titania's seen this wolf before.
I mean, she's pretty much pieced together as much. Like, she's not too surprised. It's just a bit of a shock.
On top of the well, right. I mean, I'm sure she knew that Air was a werewolf based on the conversations, but no, you've actually seen the wolf, the one that was on top of Miranda at Angram's place.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, she's kind of sniffing around and looking around, being as I had to aim for the perception. Perception bonuses here.
problem is I'm not familiar with the other sub members, so
I don't know. Yeah. Primal urge.
Um,
Kind of sniffing around and looking, so.
yeah, that would be a perception privilege.
All right. And what do you want the diff to be starting?
They'll be standard.
All right, so I get -2, so it's diff 4. I get 3 successes.
Three successes, you will not pick up any guru indications, but you do pick up some scent of pure breed. Get pure breed, and it smells similar to the Magnusons. Roll me a wits and enigmas, please.
Okay. 3 successes.
All right. You would recall.
It's that frickin' kinfolk, isn't it?
You would recall that you were told the person who killed the kinfolk here looked quite similar to him.
So probably one of his own kin. Which, well, now that she's got that scent, can she follow that scent somewhere through in the sept?
Now will be the time for you
Her
to use
ears
writing the
kind of.
question stone.
Well, she doesn't know what she's looking for. She just knows that the other person had something to hide here.
No,
So
no, no.
she's following the. Oh.
I mean, you do know about the kinfolk, right?
Yep.
So, would you not be able to follow the kinfolk?
She's not looking for the kinfolk, though. She has an
Okay.
idea as to where he is. But the spirit had said that the other person had something to hide here. She's looking for what they might have been hiding.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
If it was something physical. Yep. So yeah, she's gonna follow the trail now that she's picked that up, and her ears you see the ears kind of perk and the sniffer go in.
Veronica's following.
She's gonna let them do wolfy things. Titania's gonna head off.
Chill with the spirit. Oh. All right, so yeah, Air is sniffing and following the kinfolk footprints, or scent, as it were.
At the moment, Veronica's not going to change, just in case you need hands.
Right. She is looking for, like I said, things that seem out of place, like, but she's following that scent because of the clue.
And you don't find much fresh scent beyond that. In fact, most of the scent you're picking up seems to be from the time of the original murder.
John, this might sound weird. Can I roll perception and survival? Because sometimes, like, if you track as a hunter, you might find, like, certain things might be broken or certain things like
Well,
clothing or
that's kind of
fur.
what I'm getting at by looking for things out of usual while doing the sniffing thing, but I guess I wasn't clear enough.
Well, I'm in Hamid, so I mean, that's a way
Oh,
I can.
I get what you're getting at there. You're just not
Right.
finding anything.
So the fresh scent is over by where the burn stuff was.
Well, it wasn't any fresher. It was just that that's what you were able to pick up.
Okay.
You don't actually find any fresh scent here. Everything's burned.
Okay.
So it's like whatever was here was destroyed.
Right, by the fire giant.
All right.
And this is actually rather difficult because it's kid folk to kind of. John, are there any animals?
No.
There's literally nothing.
Hey, I'm trying.
No spirits, no animals, nothing.
And the problem is then you only have that Surtur, that fire giant spirit.
Yeah.
Now, lately we
Unless I
got.
hunt down that Magnuson kin.
And he looks similar to the one that was killed at the crime scene with the spear. Or here. Just wanting clarification.
It was relation to the one with the spear.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, that was a Magnuson kin. This one's a Magnuson kin. There's a Magnuson kin that was missing that hasn't been found yet. Hmm.
So how did the kinfolk do the trimage, I wonder? To make the deal.
Okay. I suspect there may be a bit more to him now. Spirits don't generally speak to kin, after all. Unless they're special in some way. And by that I mean supernatural in their own right.
And the fire giant just looks at you.
Eric kind of looks back at him.
And then he says, "That sounds like it'd be something one might want to hide, wouldn't it?"
Perhaps, depending on what they are. Mary just kind of shakes her head because she fucking called it in a previous conversation. She just kind of says, thinks out loud to herself, well, saying nothing sure implies a lot.
Now I wonder where the new heart of the Karen is.
I can't say the name of the place.
It's
John said
a
it.
forest
Starts with a
and an
V.
estate.
So they moved it to a different forest. Oh boy.
Yeah. Ripped this place's heart right out. Took the queen with it.
That is another thing that's going to make this rather more difficult to help your ancestor.
What do you mean?
Well, now if this has got your ancestors trapped in that stasis, and it's believed to be fey
Oh.
magic, and now they're moved somewhere else.
Plus, like I said, they killed the Silver Fang Sept Alpha. So Magnet Vidar, I'm assuming it was Vidar, could make himself Alpha of the Sept. He's aiming to make.
Which means then he's going to
Another
assume.
interesting thing. She kind of glances at this fire spirit. Strange question, unrelated to this secret, as it were, that you don't want to tell. I'm assuming you were awakened here. So you've been here for quite some time, yes?
Here as in this place, or
Yes.
no? I am from another region. It's called here.
Fair enough. Never mind then. Actually, don't never mind. How would a guru become, in a sense, immortal? To clarify, I don't wish to make this happen.
Well, I imagine some sort of outside magic would be a good start.
Okay, as I suspected. Hmm. Oh. Thank you for that. Kind of looks at
Veronica brings up Impact Link. Do you suppose we can make a deal with a spirit that if someone summons them, they have to tell us everything? If something like this was to happen again.
It's not going to happen here.
I don't think this.
It would take quite the payment. It's not impossible, but it's got to be a payment that no one else can beat. What are you thinking? I already have a debt to pay right now. Before I make other deals, this first debt needs to be paid off.
What debt is that?
That is a debt between a spirit and I.
Oof.
I don't like having more than one debt to a spirit out at the same time. Sometimes, I mean, unless it's absolutely necessary. But you make too many, and it's easy to lose track. Who you owe what? And I would rather uphold and pay my debts than have somebody angry with me for not paying it later. Like I said, sometimes making more than one is absolutely necessary, but you don't want to make too many at once. Unless you're a masochist. She kind of half chuckles at that.
Sounds like your jobs has its different challenges.
Everybody's does. She kind of glances at the fire giant. So, where are you gonna lay waste to next?
He says, well, at this point, I don't have any other agreements. So, unless you plan on kicking off Ragnarok, I imagine I'll just be relaxing.
Certainly do not intend to kick off Ragnarok. Relaxing can be a good thing. She kind of looks at Veronica and says, should we do a walkthrough of the rest of the sept? We know it's empty.
It's not a bad idea. We might find something.
Here, we'll give the fire spirit a nod. Fire giant a nod, and
He looks
start making her way. What?
he looks at you and says, I imagine they cleaned it out fairly thoroughly. My instructions were to burn only the tree and then this region. Had I been given the freedom to act, fewer would have left the area, and they certainly would not have had time for supplies.
Hard to say what they took, what they didn't, but Doesn't hurt to do a walkthrough while we're here. Truth be told, I'm kind of afraid to see what they've done to the place.
He just nods and says, "Well, enjoy your tour."
Enjoy your rest. She kind of looks at Veronica. Shall we?
Yes.
And Air kind of walks through and starts walking through the sept. Like she'll even check out the kinfolk lodgings on the outside. I'm assuming those were just on the outer edge. Assuming those got emptied too. Like
Yeah, they're
walk through
like
everything.
cleared out, like for rent type.
Is the structure still a thing, or is it just like the whole building's like a pile of ashes?
The kinfolk apartments?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still standing and everything. They just, people moved out.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, she just kind of walks through the sept. She kind of avoids the place that she specifically lived in as a kid. She's already seen that and that demolished like more than once.
Right.
She doesn't want to see it again. Is that? Yeah. Walks through the rest of the sept looking for anything that
Does it look like they left anything
might
behind
be anything.
that they didn't believe is important?
No, it looks like they semi-organized a withdrawal. Looks like there's more property left behind among the Silverfang encampments and stuff, but
What about where the former Sept Alpha stayed?
there isn't any, and really nothing of note there. It looks like it's kind of been ransacked, but like, I mean, they basically
Ransacked,
tossed it.
like someone was looking for something ransacked, or
Yeah, well, like
just
they knocked into it, looked for anything of value, left the rest, and took off.
So there is stuff there.
Well, that one, right? Those are, I mean, there's clothes and that sort of thing. Nothing of any major value or use, but the other sites, it looks like there's more of an organized withdrawal where clothing and stuff was taken.
So he's probably the Sept Alpha was probably murdered here.
I believe they burned him. Just kind of looking around, like there's no blood or anything in here. Correct?
Right.
Right. Yes. They burned him, because he'd apparently been wounded multiple times over the last, I believe it was 50 years as the Alpha, and that never did anything, so they burned him. I didn't realize he'd been Alpha quite that long. It's a really long time for a Gru.
That means they must have gotten a lot of people fed up with him.
Yes. Well, this is it. I mean, if they abandoned it, there's no bond. It's only a matter of time before people start wandering around. I'm not sure we should leave clothing and various other things out here. That might be suspect. At least immortals.
Yeah, they will be questioning that, especially the place looks. Everything else looks ransacked.
Yeah. Besides, there might be a couple Nars that want a new wardrobe.
Or the kinfolk.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess some minor cleanup is gonna go down. If it looks like everything else but this place is organized for a evac, then we might as well clean up what's in the Alpha's space and take it so it's not left behind and suspect, like I said. So Air's just gonna start picking stuff up.
All right. You guys are just gonna gather up as much leftovers as you can and take it with.
Yeah,
Might as well.
anything that would be like majorly weird to find in the woods. Like I said, clothes would be a weird thing to find in the middle of the woods. Are a lot of the structures like demolished too? Like, I don't expect obviously the kinfolk apartments to be because those are right on the edge, but like the intercept structures?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Not too worried about them then. They're mostly destroyed, but yeah, collect any weird stuff that would seem weird, like clothes or like recently written on paper, like weird objects. Just pick them up. Well, I don't think we're gonna find much else, Veronica.
No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they planned this days before they.
Yeah. Well, this is also something that we bring our Sept Alpha and elders up to speed on, like, immediately.
I turned round and I had this wee monster chasing me.
I agree. And they might be able to find out more clues with what the conversations you and I had with that spirit.
I think we've got what the spirit had to say figured out. I
One's got a pop-up that keeps interrupting.
I think they just need to know that they've removed the heart and where they've taken it. And considering it was a freehold of the Fae, I think the few that were visiting the Sept for Beltane, I believe they're still at the Sept, should be involved.
They might be able to clue us in.
Mm-hmm.
What about you told me about your mentor.
Shall we? Thorgrim is here still, I think. I haven't heard any goodbyes from him. So
He might know some good details. Petros might also know details. The Silver Fang, right, Master? I don't know too much about him. But
yeah, I'm sure he counts as one of the elders. She kind of looks highly skeptical of this.
well, it's not even about telling the elders. It's like seeing what we can discern from this.
Well, we all know what happened. Well, I mean, those of us that were at least here know. Relayed to you what I knew over the pack link as we were figuring it out, and well,
And then the double speak. Then it led to finding out kinfolk did it.
I don't think he's quite kinfolk anymore, to be honest with you.
Probably not. It doesn't sound like ordinary kinfolk can do. Which now has me concerned, because remember when we were told about the tattoos? And that some of them are kinfolk are coming up with Garu.
I don't think it's quite that.
Wonder what they have there.
He has anything like that, to be honest with you. Even Gunner knows that there are things that don't get brought to light, and I think, and yeah, I don't think the kinfolk have anything to do with that, really.
It's the
Alright. Anything else you guys wanted to take care of right now, or
No,
should we wrap this one up right here?
Yeah, I'm out of game tired.
so am I.
Alrighty. Alright, cool. And you guys get a bunch of the resources and bring them back with you to the sept. And we will wrap things up there. This has been another Nightfall in Amsterdam, a mixed scene as they investigate the burnt tree and crime scene at the Amsterdam forest. Thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching.